Hey guys, thanks for watching my channel. Welcome to Tag Your It, where you have the tenacity, audacity, and grit to push through whatever life brings or throws at you. You got this because you are it. So today I'm going to be talking about feeling hopeless, feeling disappointed when lifes, because it's always going to life no matter what season we're in. And just knowing how to push through those feelings. And I'm not saying it's all the time is going to be an easy thing. But I am a very spiritual person, and I believe in that, that God truly will not give you more than you can handle. And at the end of the day, God is the plug. He is the resource. Your job is not the resource. Your business is not the resource. You know, He is the resource. And when I have that mentality, the sky's the limit, literally. And I have been going through a rough time myself, financially transitioning out of careers. And being that my income is very unstable, it can be very uncomfortable, However, for instance, yesterday I had a situation where, I had a fraudulent charge come through my bank account, and unfortunately you have to go through a dispute, and all that stuff. So it just jacked up my bank account, and, I have more deposits coming in that's, not going to be able to come now. It have to be redirected. So it was a big inconvenience, and I'm not going to lie, I did get my pennies in a bunch. But as soon as I did that, I kind of had to pause and pray and let myself know what I am going through is temporary. It's not so much what we go through in life, it's how you're dealing with it. So you can either fall down the wall and do the ugly cry, which sometimes that's necessary, if I'm being honest. Sometimes, I'm not saying just suck it up and keep moving, but the key to life and the key to overcoming is to not sit in it. Feel your emotions. Emotions are healthy, and they're not going to go away, because when we stuff them, that's what leads to bad behaviors and doing things that we shouldn't be doing to alleviate the stress that we feel from within. So never stuff your feelings. If you need to cry, cry. You need to scream, get in your car and scream for 2 minutes, Whatever you need to do that's going to get you over the hump emotionally. However, don't sit in it, and I'm preaching this to myself as well, because a lot of times life happens and we just tend to let that throw off our whole day. We carry it into the next day, and we start to fall in a self-pity party, and you will never overcome being in self-pity, because my granny used to say, you should be grateful, because when you look over your shoulder, there's always somebody in a worse situation than you. And I find that to be very true. And sometimes in life, no matter what situation you're in, be grateful, and what I mean by that is, sometimes in life we tend to look at, oh, I don't have this, and, you may not have the money, you may not have the relationship you want, it could be a plethora of things that you don't have. But sometimes you have to switch that thinking and be grateful for what you do have. Number one, you woke up this morning. You got breath in your lungs, which means God is not finished with you, and you have another opportunity at life to correct whatever you need to correct and get it right. Number two, if you have a roof over your head, you're not homeless. Seeing people in the hot heat, homeless and nowhere to go and no family to go to, that's sad. You have food to eat. If you have food, that's something to be grateful for. Sometimes you got to appreciate the little things instead of worrying about what you don't have. Be thankful for what you do have, and train your mind to see opposition as opportunity, because truly it is. I know it sounds easier said than done, but you got to work on that, including myself. Like I said, I was kind of in a funk yesterday, but I woke up today. I said, you know what? It's the day before the holiday. I'm not going to wake up being pessimistic. What happened has happened. I filed the claim with my bank. All I can wait for them to do is, hopefully put my funds back into my account. And that's all I can do, and move on with my day. I would not let anything ruin what God has for me, and that's the attitude that we all need to take on, because God will not give you more than you can handle. And in life, the things that, it's not cliche when the scripture said, all things are working for your good, because they are. Sometimes everything in life is about decisions, and sometimes we always can't blame the enemy. Oh, the devil is no, sometimes it be our decisions, including myself. Like, we have to make better decisions, because you are born looking like your parents, but you will die looking like your choices. And that's the honest to God truth. So thank you so much for listening. I hope everyone has a happy and safe 4th of July. If you find this content helpful, I would love for you to like, subscribe, and share, and comment below, with any suggestions on how to cope through rough times. But you guys have a blessed day. Be safe.